Money on my mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Raidanair, and we are back at it again with another episode. Oh, let me switch mics. Another episode of crypto portfolio updates. Oh, geez, we had to switch that off. We had it on the laptop and not the microphone. Gotta get the housekeeping out of the way first. As you roll in, make sure to hit the like button. If you're getting value out of this, you've been here more than twice, definitely hit the subscribe button. I also urge you to hit that bell notification down at the bottom and turn all to on. I do not flood your feed. I'm not posting multiple times a day to talk about nonsense. We keep it pretty chill over here. Just the facts, because somebody's got to tell you the truth. So today's topic, we're going to talk about alternative ways that I fund my crypto portfolio and have historically. I got a couple for you that aren't just regular everyday W-2s, because, you know, I'm not an advocate of gambling with the rent money. Now, once you get all in, all bets are off. Like me personally, I try to get every dollar that I can into crypto, and I'll explain how I'm going about that here momentarily. But first, we're going to bring to the screen, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. They put that up on the screen. Turn camera off so I jump off the screen, but you guys can still hear me loud and clear. Shout out to CoinGecko for this wonderful information. Now, I am recording this a day early. I've got plans early in the morning on Wednesday, so I want to make sure I've got all my stuff done. But I mean, granted, I used to do these on Sundays. So we're getting closer, but we had a little pop in the market today, a little glimmer of green, a little ray of hope, a ray of sunshine, if you would. And I was like, you know what? I want to go ahead and talk about some stuff, because like while the market's still very much down, this was a good move. We got stuff going on. We're getting upward motion. So as of this recording today, Monday, March 24th, day of our Lord, Bitcoin is sitting at $87,044. Now, throughout the day, as I was looking at the price, we went up and we broke through 88,000, which is awesome. There's no straight lines up. There definitely feels like there are straight lines down, but there are no straight lines up. I am not 100% flipped on the bullish switch yet. I still believe that 70K could be a thing in our future, as great as things are looking. I'm a big advocate of hope for the bet, or prepare for the worst, hope for the best. So we're making some money moves. We're looking at these next payouts, because market volatility equals cash for me because of the way my portfolios are structured. I'm not a one bullet hits all. Oh, there we go. It just broke down 86, 9, 15, 20. See what it looks like in the morning. But we're attacking on multiple fronts at all times. Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 58.4%. Ethereum dominance is at 8.45%. Ethereum gas fees are at 0.613 Gwei. Good trading on Ethereum, man. Couple of bucks, few dollars here. It's going to be under $10. Probably going to be under $6 for most things. So there's some good trading going on there. Obviously, it's not the change that you trade for on L2s or other chains, but apparently we're supposed to get another update, and if they crush those gas fees down it even lower, I mean, it just gets better, because Ethereum is now usable for what I would say is everyone. So you're definitely probably getting taxed around what you're paying in gas fees and DeFi on Ethereum on your exchange. So you're paying either way. Moving on. Top 3 trending coins per CoinGecko. At number 1, we have Barachain. At number 2, we have Nillion. And at number 3, we have Kronos. People are researching quality stuff. I'm liking it. It's a good thing to see. some logic, some rationale has come back to the market. Now, for me, everything that I do is built around Bitcoin. I am still advocating not having really over 5 coins that you're long on, which means that we play during the bull run, we place bets during the bull run, we cash those bets out at around the peak, and we convert to our longs. I mean, I've only got 3 longs, and everybody knows what they are: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. Those are my 3 personally. Chainlink, the third one, I think 3 through 5, subject to personal taste. I don't recommend having a meme coin in your long-term holdings. That just sounds crazy to me. But 3 through 5 are subject to. I think if you are missing Bitcoin or Ethereum, you are shooting yourself in the foot as far as long-term goes, in my opinion. Obviously, it's just an opinion. It's my opinion. If you do not have Bitcoin, you are insane. I'll say that. I mean, I could even say 2 through 5. But if you do not have Bitcoin as your number one holding and it's not the majority of your holding, then you are, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I just think you're not going to make it. So that's an opinion. It's my opinion. Doesn't have to be your opinion. You guys build your portfolios as you see fit. But when I see these complaint posts on Reddit about crypto being a scam, I know that your portfolio wasn't predominantly Bitcoin. I know you were trying to get rich next Tuesday. I know you probably bought a coin with a unicorn, a dog, or a picture of poo-poo on it. And I know that you probably got your money taken. And you know what the person who took your money did? They went and bought Bitcoin and Ethereum. So all roads lead to Rome here, people. You can either get it right the first time or you can get it right after you get your hand swatted. I'm talking from experience because I have had my hand swatted. Now, moving on, we're going to jump over to the top 5 gainers and losers, and we are still looking real sideways in the crypto market. But I'm still going to hope that you guys get to venture your way onto these lists at some point. At number 1, starting with the gainers, we have at rank 776, we have Clash of Lilliput with a gain of 59.5% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have at rank 522, Alchemist AI with a gain of 41.3% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 704, Pangolin with a gain of 45.8% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have at rank 631, Flog with a gain of 39.5% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, at number 5, we have a rank 557, AI Rig Complex with a gain of 39.9% in the last 24 hours. Moving over to the top losers in the last 24 hours. Now, this doesn't look too bad. Obviously, not a lot of movement. We're doing a lot of sideways movement here, but this looks healthy retracement. Could be definitely no crashes, no run for the hills, just a little bit of sideways down movement in the crypto market. Might be an opportunity to get into position. Maybe some dollar cost averaging should be in order. At number 1, we have a rank 785, Tornado Cash, down 25.9% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have at rank 534, Zebic Network, down 21.2% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, at rank 804, we have Burned Fi, down 20.2% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, that was number 3. At number 4, we have at rank 369, Nillion, down 18.1% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, at rank 106, we have Entangle, down 14.3% in the last 24 hours. Before we move to the next page, I got to give you guys the dirty. On the 24 hours, the portfolio is up 3.2%. Overall, we are down 23%. We're still just getting beat down bad. Crypto's beat down bad. Nobody should be in crypto. Crypto's over. It's the end of the world. No, this is part of the process. We're going to go ahead and jump on into it. So, at number 1, top holding, we have Solana, SOL. At number 2, we have Ethereum, ETH. At number 3, we have Thorwallet, DEX, TGT. At number 4, we have Aave, AAVE. At number 5, we have Injective, INJ. At number 6, we have Wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC. At number 7, we have Jupiter Perpetual Liquidity Provider Token, JLP. At number 8, we have Superverse, SUPER. And at number 9, we have Radium, RAY. Last but not least, at number 10, we have Akash Network, AKT. I've still got some moving to do with this portfolio, and I keep putting it off. And I'm not going to act like I'm not consistently putting it off. It's just I get super busy, I get sidetracked, and I haven't even done my DeFi cash out for the month yet. We are getting ready to do that. I figured with the market getting beat the way that it was, I might as well wait as long as possible so that it's something noteworthy, because I really don't like moving positions that are under $10. Let me back. But now we're going to jump into the meat and potatoes of the episode. I'm trying to get these more streamlined, a little bit more efficient, a little bit more straight to the point. Alternative ways that I fund my crypto portfolio. And I consider that, and I'm emphasizing that work because I have done them and I've used them to get money to build the portfolio up to over 6 figures, which is where it is. That are not W-2, because that's base level. Everybody goes to work. You budget out some of your money for investments. Some of it goes into crypto. We get it. But what if you want more? Well, you can cut back on expenses. That's what Dave Ramsey's going to tell you to do. He's going to tell you to eat beans, beanie weenies, something like that. I don't know. Me not being dysgenic, I try to have a moderately healthy diet, so I'm not going to eat beanie weenies. They're bad for you. They give you cardiac issues and make you kind of look like a big old man baby. And it gives you like this really round body type. And it's not a body type that I personally want. So I eat actual food. So I mean, not getting Starbucks. I already don't do that. But I mean, I enjoy making my own coffee. I'm good at it. So I don't do that. You sell everything in your house. That's also an option. I actually have some stuff that I need to sell. I just end up with extra parts for things. So I got some stuff to clean up and sell. So like that is an option. And that's where we're going to start. You can start, selling some stuff around the house that you don't use. Spring cleaning. Sell it off. That's a simple one. And it's just pretty straightforward. You put stuff on Facebook Marketplace, sell it, list it on eBay, get it up out of there, get your cash, take the cash, put it into crypto. And I mean, it's really easy, especially if you eBay stuff, because when you get paid, you ship your stuff off. When they pay you, you then have, at least for me, it hits PayPal first. So once it hits PayPal, then you move forward and it's crypto's right there because there's crypto on PayPal. So like that's a real easy segue right there. So that's one way. And I have done that. Doing it consistently though, like I'm not the type of person who goes around scanning labels, looking for deals to flip stuff on eBay. I used to. And I had a couple of good months where like I did find some stuff to sell. But that takes time. Like you have to go to places, you might not find something. So like that wasn't really efficient for me. If I had no job or nothing else to do and like that's all I had to do, then I could do that. But what I did instead, because I still had a job, but I needed more income to get into crypto, was I started Ubering, which is my next thing. Pick up a side hustle. Uber, DoorDash, Uber Eats, any of the delivery, Amazon Flex, another good one. Let me think. What else can I think of off the top of my head? There's plenty of consignments. Like you can get registered to do medical supply runs, and do that, which could be kind of gross or not gross because like you're taking samples sometimes. But from what I hear, it pays really well. I've never done that. I went the Uber route. I also try to do Postmates. I don't like messing with people's food. I did learn that. I don't like messing with people's food. Instacart, you go shopping for people. Again, I don't want to mess with your groceries. So that's not for me, but people do it. And they make money doing it. So you pick up the side hustle. And the reason that I started Ubering primarily was to pay the car that I purchased off because I don't like carrying car notes for very long. And I ended up putting a large amount because I was chunking down the car payment. So I put a large amount of it in crypto because I was in the process of going down the rabbit hole on crypto. I did that. And it was that was the nest egg of when I started getting serious about crypto. But I also didn't want to have to, I hadn't got my finances completely in check yet. So I didn't have access to my W-2 income. There was no way for me to make more income. So like I had to go get more income, which equated to me having to work harder. I'm an advocate. Like if you're trying to change your life financially, I am an advocate of putting your nose to the grindstone for, 1 to 5 years, because it really, if you can't figure your stuff out to make some noticeable changes to convert how you're getting that extra income within 5 years, you have a problem that more income isn't going to fix. You have a spending problem. That'll show you your issue. Honestly, within 2 years, if you're not noticing some forward momentum, you have a spending problem. Or if you're doing it the investment route, you're bad at portfolio management or capital allocation. One of those things. But something's got to give. And putting in 100 hours a week worked out for me. It's something that I'm capable of doing when I need to go into the grindstone. I pretty much, during my work week, maximizing those hours, I'm working till I go to bed, and then I fit in a punch list of things that needs to get done over the weekend to help continue the momentum and keep the momentum going. So I'm consistently working out. Like I do schedule in some lifetime now because I'll go down that rabbit hole and just disappear indefinitely because I enjoy it. But I also want to see my friends, nurturing relationships, doing things, trying to start getting more active in the community that I'm in. So I'm factoring stuff in. On that same note, it is important. Like I also have my dividend income actually eclipses what I was making Ubering. Now, could I go back to it? I am thinking about potentially getting back into it because now I have my portfolio kicking off assets. And then if I were to pick something up, like if I start segmenting out some free time, but that at what cost? Like that's the next question. It's like at what cost? But yeah, it's something that I kick around every once in a while, like, picking up a couple of like a day and doing Amazon Flex early in the morning and then having the rest of my day. But I haven't pulled the trigger on that because the amount of money that I'm making every month is good. Like I gave myself a $15,000 raise last year. We're looking at targeting 30. I want to double the dividend portfolio income every year if possible. That's my goal. So this year, $30,000 raise. Next year would be a $60,000 raise, at which point, I'm looking at work optional because I can make everything that I need to do work off 60. And then next year, 120. And then once we get to 180, because I would never leave my current employment or give up a steady paycheck with benefits until I was 3 times past my salary, or the salary that I need, my bare minimum, like cutting to the quick 60 I can live off of. Now, the reason I would want 180 is because you also have to look at, well, if you leave, you got to have insurance, and I'm not going to have subpar insurance. I'm going to have good insurance. I'm going to be able to go to the doctor if I need to go to the doctor and get stuff paid for if I need to get stuff paid for. Also, I'm factoring in reinvestment. I want to be able to reinvest at minimum what I'm investing now. So, and then the dividends, especially if you're high yield, as we're getting to the point, because once we start getting to the work optional, you can retire space, I'll be looking at risk mitigation. So we'll be going into some lower payers heavily that are just more balanced, that track markets, that do things. And like our long-term portfolio, by the time we get to that point, should be, it won't be as high as the crypto portfolio, but like it should be pretty stacked. And that's the, if something comes up a little bit short and you got to sell off a little bit of the assets, the long-term portfolio is like where that would come out of, because we don't ever want to touch the Bitcoin. We don't want to touch crypto. And then we'll be able to do some stuff with that, because we'll be able to still build those portfolios. But I'll also have, I mean, hypothetically, if I did retire, part of the thing that we're going to be doing is living outside of the country, which will boost that income. But like, even when I'm in the country, I won't have a 45-minute drive every day at that point. So like wear and tear on the car goes way down. Gas, I won't have to buy gas, way down. Focusing on stuff around, like, it just depends. Like you open up a lot more options. But that portfolio income has been a catalyst for me, which is going to be, let's see here. I mean, I guess we can go ahead and just jump into it like that, because that's the primary thing. Like we've gone over, I mean, I've given you 3, but the one that's most important, the one that I'm riding hard now, is the portfolio income. My dividend portfolio is going to be at a point to where it will fund everything. I'm building out my long-term portfolio now off of that income. As soon as we get through, I'm clearing all my consumer debt now with that dividend portfolio income. Like we're currently getting to a position where we're going to be able to actually implement the experiment that I want to test, which is shifting my entire paycheck into my dividend portfolio and then existing and paying off my debt and my weekly expenses out of that portfolio, which I believe is possible. Like I think that that's going to be manageable, because we're making some adjustments to the closest thing to budgeting I've ever done, which is just try to buy less stuff. That's kind of where I get when it comes to budgeting. I'm just like, just don't buy anything you don't need, while still managing, I'm going to have a little bit of leisure time on the weekends. Leisure time generally comes with money. Like if you're going out to a restaurant, you get a nice meal, you go grab a craft cocktail, have a drink or two. There's money involved, but just like not blowing it every single day. It's like, oh, that's $100. That's $100. I went out tonight. It's $200, $300 there. Oh, we went to a nice dinner. That's $300. Like just not doing it every day. And the reason being is because I can accelerate my money at a point to where once those dividends get high enough, I'll be able to do all that stuff anyways. And it's not necessarily a thing that I have to do indefinitely. Like I'm not trying to get rich and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to eat beanie weenies forever so I don't have to go to work. Like that sounds horrible. You're going to give yourself a health complication, and then you're going to not work, and then you're going to expire, and it's going to not be good. So I don't want to do that. Like I want to have the quality of life that I have right now as the bare minimum. And then we build on that and make it to where it's like, okay, so bare minimum, my quality of life is something that's acceptable to me, that I enjoy. And then we can expand upon that and make it to where we have like a very healthy cushion to where, sparingly, I can do even more of the stuff that I value doing. And then also buy my time back. My dividend portfolio is right now the primary focus of what I'm doing. And I know that there's a couple of other YouTubers out there that factor in their crypto related stocks into their crypto portfolio, and they call it a part of their crypto portfolio. And I guess I'm gonna join the team on that. Misty, which is a high yield dividend stock that tracks that place is it runs a covered call strategy on MicroStrategy or strategy now, MSTR. And it's basically, in a nutshell, yield farming using MicroStrategy. For those of you in the crypto space, that's something we all should understand, those of us who've been here a while. It capitalizes on the volatility of MicroStrategy, the stock. I'm just going to call it MicroStrategy for the rest of this video because I've already started doing it. But it monetizes the volatility, which is the up and down violent movements that MicroStrategy has. It's a covered call strategy, so it's also long MicroStrategy, both of which are part of my Bitcoin play. MSTY is what, for me, yield farming MicroStrategy, because every month when I get paid, I buy MicroStrategy with that income also. I also am paying for, upgrades and repairs around my place with that. It also is covering my mortgage. It's doing a lot of stuff because we've been actively focusing in on that position, and it's to the point now to where it's going to be a primary focus. And the reason that it's going to be a primary focus for me is because one of the things that people negate, even when they're budgeting, even when you're doing your side hustle, what's the problem in our portfolios? For all of us, we get to the bear market, we get tapped quickly. It happens to all of us. Like, I've been through this bear market multiple times, and we got here, and not bear market, but the retracement before the parabolic bull run that we all talk about in all these videos as we build up during the halving cycle for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's daddy. We all run out of money. You buy the dip, then the next dip comes, then the dip to the dip, then the dippity dip. We've all seen the meme where it's just like everybody's got a firearm that they're pointing at the person in front of them, and then there's a guy in the way back, and it's like the dippity dip. By that time, we're out of money. So our problem is cash flow. Misty and high yield dividends, in my opinion, and I'm using a few different products over at YieldMax. If you're not following my portfolio updates that happen the first week of every month, you need to tap in on that because it shows all the positions. But all of my positions, even therein, are highly focused in the crypto space because that is my goal. I'm not diversifying because I'm not wealthy yet. And like, once I get to a point to where I either have enough cash flow coming in to diversify, and the first thing that we're diversifying is the cash flow. We're protecting the cash flow first. I'm not going to diversify that long-term holding portfolio. I have no reason to. I have MicroStrategy. I have a couple of other crypto plays in there, and I do have Palantir, but like, honestly, I'm considering getting out of that position too, because it's not, they don't hold Bitcoin. They're not a part of the narrative. I do like AI. I like where that's going, but there are other positions that I could be in that are also Bitcoin holders where they got Bitcoin on the balance sheet that is aligned with my thesis, because my thesis is Bitcoin. My thesis is crypto. So Misty allows me as my predominant holding and the place where my check will land. Like, when that check hits that account, I will buy Misty, and then everything else can come out of that. That's what we're going to be doing. And we're almost there. And then, like, we're going to document that because I'm betting the bank on MicroStrategy doing what it needs to do, which means Misty's going to be paying consistently well. We just went through this month. We had our worst payout that I've had since I've been in position with Misty. It's $1.37, which equated to, I got $1,377, $1,370.77 or something like that. Because I was buying during that arduous dip. The other thing that I have in my brokerage account that I don't have in my crypto portfolio this time around when we hit the dip was margin. And so I had the ability to deploy margin, and I deployed quite a bit of margin. It wasn't it wasn't anything compared to like what I could have deployed, but it was enough to make me uncomfortable because it was money that I didn't have. So basically I'm putting it on credit. Now it's on credit at 12.5%. That is not gauged the same way. It's like a daily gauge. So it's not 12%. It's 12% for a year. I'm going to have the position for one more month. I'll have a little bit more margin. And as soon as that margin's cleared, the check will be able to go in there because we're going to have moved our finances around to where I will be able to shift my direct deposit. Like once we get this credit card paid off so I can redeploy another 0% balance transfer and move a little bit more money over to that card that I got a little bit of money in the way right now. As soon as we do that, game on. Everything's going into that portfolio and we're steamrolling and we're going to try to hit some numbers because I think that once we shift this check over, we're going to be in a position where we will be over $30,000 in dividends this year. And we did 15 from, I think it was basically April to July. We did $15,000. And I think I'll be able to completely destroy those numbers this year. Starting now, I should be able to pay all $30,000 of the debt off that I have because I also track that. It's on here. First of the month, we do our Operation Debt episode with an update on my debt pool. Like I'm pretty transparent with that stuff. Raising debt, $30,000. Most of it being all of it, but about $8,000 is asset backed, which means that I used my cash advances at 0% to buy assets, which is how these portfolios got spun up. And we're going to use the dividends to pay that back. And then once that's clear, and we're just managing our daily and whatever comes up, but my entire check's going into the machine that's spitting out money, we're going to be having some different conversations around here because once that high yield snowball starts rolling, I mean, it's rolling fast now, and that's with me managing this debt and paying it off in chunks. So once the debt's clear, because I'm not a person who accrues a bunch of debt unless it's to buy assets. Now, if I start getting cash advances again, then like we might start having some $10,000 cash infusions that get distributed throughout my portfolios. Like I'm not above it. I like money, and I like making money. And if I can get something for 0% and pay it back in a few months, because as these portfolios are rolling, you infuse cash. Now, I mean, for me, about every $10,000, the way that I look at it, that's an additional $1,000 a month. That's basically what that works out to for me with the income portfolio that I have set up right now, because I would dump it into the income portfolio. It would dump into Misty. Misty pays around 100%. And I've already got an asset base. So like now that I'm stacking on top of it, those payments, that gets paid back even faster. And I usually, what I do with my credit cards, I take those cash advances. They normally give you 12, I'd say on mine, it's 12 to about 18 months. And I pay it back within 6 to 10. And the reason I do that versus a bulk payback is it's a 0%. So I'm paying that initial origination fee, which is normally about 3.5% to 5%. But I don't rush to pay it back in the sense of, I got to pay this back right now because it's generating cash flow. So I can put more money in the market. So instead of using my check to pay that back, I just wait for the dividends to roll around. And it's like, cool, we'll chunk this out into 6 to 10 payments and pay it back like that. And, we'll call it a day. So that way I can just keep focusing on money consistently going in to the portfolio. Understanding how money works and understanding how to utilize leverage is a game changer for the average Joe who goes to work for 10 to 12 hours or 8 to 12 hours a day, because I don't know what everybody else's day looks like. Mine's about 10 to 12, dependent. For those of us who are actually working, accelerating that income is important. And a lot of people, the thing that they teach us that keeps us where we're at is that when we get those cash advances, oh, you got to go on vacation. It's time to go to Tulum. It's time to go get some rims. It's time to order those 3 pairs of J's that you wanted instead of waiting and getting them one at a time as your check comes in and just throwing the cash at it. Instant gratification. Get it now. But if you take that same mentality and put that towards building and acquiring assets in an efficient manner, now you're getting exponentially wealthier every year. Now you have X amount more buying power to acquire more, to build those portfolios and have more assets every year. Now you got to pay it back. You got to be financially responsible, or they'll stop giving you the money, because they don't give you money that you need. They give you money you don't need. So you do have to have good credit. You do have to manage the credit. But the other thing that they don't tell you is your credit is not just supposed to sit at 800 all the time. That just means you're not using it and you're just paying bills and taking out loans to have it look like you have good credit. Like if you're not, my credit fluctuates between 700 and 820 at any given time regularly, because there's certain loans that I don't take. I don't take out personal loans. I don't take out car loans. Like I'm really slow to get a car loan. Like we're getting ready to position ourselves to buy a new car this year, towards the end of this year or the beginning of next year. And, when we get ready to make that move, I will make sure that my credit's spotless, and I'll go in there with 820 credit and just be like, hey, like we paid everything back. Like, let's get this car. And I'll have an income machine that I get to add to my income. That's like, yo, I get this much a month, but I also got this much coming from investments, which is what's actually paying for this car. Fun fact from my crypto people, since this is a crypto portfolio update video, your Bitcoin doesn't count when they're looking at your asset base, but your TradFi portfolio, your traditional finance portfolio, your brokerage account, your Charles Schwab, your Robinhood, the non-crypto stuff, the stocks, even if they're crypto tied, do. So that actually counts into your wealth as far as what the dealership and the banks are caring about. But me personally, I'm going to walk in there with my papers already done, because the dealership will screw your credit up. Just another note, if you have them run your credit to get you a loan, they're going to run it so many times that your credit's going to tank. If you have good credit, you probably have credit offers for a car from most of the places that your credit cards are from, or you should have an established relationship with a bank that will loan you money. Just a couple of things to think on. But Misty is something that we'll probably be talking about on this show, because Elio Trades has Coinbase that he always talks about in his crypto portfolio. Misty's going to be mine because of the income. I'm not going to probably talk about MicroStrategy that much, even though I do have a strategy for MicroStrategy, and I've talked about that on the Future Financial Strategies, and we're going to be tapping back in to talk about it because it's working. And this next month's portfolio update for this month, as we've gone through this bear market, we'll go pretty deep into that. I'll probably do an episode specifically about my MicroStrategy strategy next month, because we'll have an update on that strategy to talk about. We'll have some stuff to talk about. We'll be able to talk about the income. We'll be able to talk about some aspects of the growth and how we're going to be managing that moving forward. But again, everything is about getting Bitcoin. So one of the other things that we'll be doing after we shift our entire check over to being in Misty is we'll be starting to take an allocation that's going to be specifically for buying Bitcoin every month. That will come out of that portfolio. We'll kick the cash over, get it to its appropriate place, and we're going to start buying Bitcoin again. So lots of big stuff going on. those are a couple of well, actually not a couple, a few alternative ways that you can fund your crypto portfolio. And I have and am actively funding my crypto portfolio. So we'll be tapping in, we'll be talking about that for sure moving forward. Thank you for tapping in with me. It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero. Again, like the video, hit that subscribe button, turn the bell notification on, especially if you've been here more than 2 times. We got plenty of room over here in the wolf pack, and nobody wants to get rich by themselves. Till next time, people, we'll see you next week. It's been another great episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and I am out.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.